Well, guys, we have some amazing questions for our viewers. And from last week's episode, we asked you guys, hey, yeah, this is fun. Talking about sports, drinking, having a great time, reminiscing from our high school days, reminiscing how we met our girls and talking about our kids. Great time. But the main reason why we made this show is to help men, help you guys. So I had I said, hey, we set up this email, questions@justusmen.net. And the responses we got from you guys, just amazing. I mean, I think we got about 20 questions from you guys. And obviously we can't answer all those questions every single show, but we are going to answer every single question as the show progresses. But we picked 2 great questions from you guys, and we're going to help these guys out. And by us helping you guys out, you guys helping us out, because we got some questions for you guys. And if you guys see our stories and our issues we're dealing with, and you could see, my situation with sleep, regression with my daughter wanting to come into sleep, got some great advice from Pedro. But if you guys have anything else for us, Pedro, Pedro, this whiskey's just killing me right now. I'll tell you that right now, which is awesome. I'm telling you.
All right.
But it's, anything to help us out. You guys, we're helping you guys out. Please help us out. That's what, as I described last week, you can't win a war with one military branch. You need all of them. With all of us guys, just us men, helping each other out with our issues, with our problems.
Let me cut you off.
Go ahead, brother.
And while I watched back that video, I don't know if that was pre-planned or just came off top of the dome.
Just came off the top of the dome.
But that was a great analogy.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, when you look back at that in retrospect, I mean, that is the definition of how we should take on life together. I mean,
Nope, for sure.
And I mean, your analogy just summed it up perfectly. I mean, you can't win any war by yourself.
Nope.
So why we individually feel like we can take this all on by ourselves?
Nope.
I think that, to be honest, and that's why I really enjoyed coming on the show and actually trying to do this, because I think a lot of times that's what us men do.
Nope.
We want to run in there solo and think we can do everything by ourselves and, try to guess at what we should be doing.
Exactly.
And instead of actually asking questions and trying to do it the right way.
Yeah.
I mean, that women do it all the time.
Women do it all the time.
No problem.
All the time. You know what's so funny is that, okay, I love James Bond. James Bond's a fucking amazing character, man. I've watched all his movies. Daniel Craig was probably the best James Bond. That's me.
Man, okay,
that's
I'm
me.
with you on
all right,
that.
that's
Okay.
me.
Yeah,
Other people may disagree. That's fine. All James Bond movies. But what you see James Bond do in his movies, it's not realistic. You know what I mean? You can't do a whole operation just with one person.
You don't always end up with an attractive woman.
You don't. But
Jason's last name isn't Bond.
I wish it was. Hell yeah, I wish it was, dude. That's awesome. You kidding me? But you can't. Any military operations for anything is always done by a team. You have a team planning every single thing. And myself being on military operations, there's planners, there's teams, there's intel, there's everything that goes on to execute an operation.
Yep.
No one does this by themselves.
Yep.
All right. And like you said, I appreciate you saying that, because when a man has a problem, when a man has an issue, when a man's going through life challenges, being a husband, being a father, you can't conquer those obstacles by yourself. You need that other guy, even if it's just like, hey, bro, I'm going through this with my kid. How do you deal with it? Like, you just gave me some great advice. You literally just told me, bro, stop what you're doing, do this. And I'm like, oh, all right. I talk to the wife. Let's do that. Let's fix this issue once and for all. Instead of trying to figure out, wow, this book said, this internet said. There is books on being parents, but there's no books on being parents. If you get what I'm saying.
I do.
You know what I'm saying? There's thousands of these books. Do this. That's great. But the experience of all of us sharing, that's even better, because we've already gone through this. I've gone through stuff. You've gone through stuff. We've all gone through different chapters in our lives. I'm going to share with you guys some hardcore, dark stuff that I've been through with my kid, with myself. I used to be married with a previous marriage. You guys are going to hear this in the next few podcasts. And you guys are going to go through stuff, and you guys are going to probably been through that already or going through that right now. And you're going to say, oh shit, let's figure this out together. Let's help each other. So guys, we're going to help you with these amazing questions. I got a great question. This is from Kevin in Houston, Texas, right here in our hometown. He says, I have a 1-year-old. Before I had my daughter, I was at the gym all the time. Now, having a child, it's harder to get to the gym. How do I still balance family, work life, and still work out and take care of myself physically? Obviously, we know taking care of ourselves physically is what helps us mentally. I know me, I have to hit the gym. I cannot go through my day without working out at least 30 minutes a day, at least 45 tops. If I have an hour workout, amazing. You need that. So he's asking our help. Hey, how do you balance it out? So, for myself, when our daughter was born, it's hard because it was a hard situation at that time. She was in the hospital for about first 8 months of her life, came home with feeding tubes and stuff like that. I'm going to fast forward to now and how I do it. Everybody who works, they have a lunch break. Legally, you have to. You have to have a lunch break legally, even if it's 30 minutes. My time at my lunch break, we have a gym down the hall. I go to the gym. It takes me a few minutes to change out into my gym clothes, work out at least 30 minutes, at least 40 minutes, something. Put my headphones on, have no one bothering me. Right. Change back in, go back to work. Yeah. Some people may not have that convenience of having a gym, but to me, in my head, if you could eat at your desk or eat where you're working at, some people can, some people can't. Use that lunch break, go take a jog around the block, do some push-ups, something. Yep. And then when you come home, all right, when I come home, there's times I go to the country club gym, which is great. There's times where I can't go to the country club gym because Sarah's not sleeping well or whatever the situation is. So what my wife does, she loves watching her show, and that's great. Spend some time with the wife. Ask my wife this. She'll be sitting down watching TV on the couch, and I'm there lifting weights. I'm there doing steps by the couch.
Oh, man. Okay.
All right?
I got you.
Something to keep me active.
Okay.
We're both watching the same thing. We both have the same commentary about the show or whatever we're watching.
He's getting ready for the post game.
I'm telling you, but I have to still keep active. You know what I mean? Something to keep yourself active. I mean, that's me. Everybody has a different routine. Everybody does something different. I know you guys probably do something different, but that's just, I have to at least 30 minutes to an hour a day. That keeps my brain function. That keeps my mental stability going as being a man, being a father. And if a man doesn't lift weights, if a man doesn't work out, I feel that it just doesn't, I don't know what it does. It releases my stress. It releases how I feel throughout the day from being at work, with dealing with bosses, dealing with coworkers, dealing with the challenges of life. I needed to lift that weight. I need to do at least 50 to 100 push-ups.
Stress relief is
something.
what you
That's
needed.
my stress relief.
Yeah,
hitting the puncher bag a little bit. Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
So I have the luxury of, I set my own schedule.
Yeah, and that's
not all like
Pedro,
man.
That's what being an entrepreneur is about.
I'm very fortunate to have that. But even on the weekends, I'm off. At this point, I'm usually off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right? With the family. So I have the luxury of, setting my own schedule, and anything, family related, holidays, just normal days, any days, I'm there for. I'm present. One of my reasons of getting into working for myself was to be sure that there was nothing I missed. Right. I hear people all the time like, I didn't make it to this event. I didn't make it to this because I had to work.
That's normal.
That's
normal for most folks.
I didn't want to be
Everybody.
that. I wanted to be able to always be there for everything that mattered.
Yep.
Right. So having that luxury of, setting my own schedule, I'm there for everything. So to offset that, I have my one non-negotiable. I am not going to start my day until I hit the gym.
Right.
Oh, wow.
This is me time.
That's your time. That's your time. At least a few minutes.
I'm here for every event. I won't ever miss a birthday. I won't ever miss a celebration. I won't miss a holiday. I'll be for every. Yep. If you want to go grocery shopping and you want me to be with you, I'll be there. Right. But that's going to be scheduled after my workout's done.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So I wake up every morning. I walk out. I get in my truck. I go to the gym. Okay. I don't feel like I can start the rest of my day until my workout's done. Because like you said, I mean, once you work out, I mean, that
it sets the tone for the day.
Exactly. I mean, you want to accomplish everything else after you've done that. So that's, I guess, to answer the question,
Must be nice.
I guess
Look,
to
man,
answer the question, be able to attend everything and justify all that you do to say, this is me time.
Right.
Yep.
I need this for me to be able to, I can't be the best to you until I can go help myself out.
Exactly.
And that's helping yourself.
Exactly. Do you notice when you're on a plane and they go through the emergency, when this happens, put your mask on.
Yeah.
What they specifically say, if you hear the wording, put
That's
your mask
usually
on
when I have my
first.
AirPods in. I haven't heard
Exactly.
this.
Yeah. Well, nowadays I'm afraid to fly down with all the crap going on. It's crazy. But they say, put your mask on first before you help your kids, because you can't help your kids if you're dead.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You're already hitting the nail on.
Exactly.
on the
So
head.
in my head, I feel working out, even if it's 30 minutes a day, just doing something
Okay.
helps me out. Be a better father, be a better husband.
You may have a different angle here.
I mean,
No. And the thing about it is I get you. No, both of you. Totally understand, because you have a gym at your job and you have the luxury to do it. And when I look at me, yeah, I got a gym at my job. So I totally get it. Not everybody has
Not everyone has it. And I get
Not
that.
everybody has
I get that.
So, and for this man who's asking the question of, when do I work out,
Right.
because they had the time. Now they have a kid,
Right.
and that throws a wrench into everything.
Yep.
So now again, I have a gym at my job, and I can actually go out there and I do work out. And same thing. I use my lunch break to go work out and do my things, right? So that's cool and all. Why'd you look down? What are you? My man, did you see that?
I was going to
Yeah,
like, this is the first I've heard of this.
Right.
I know.
No, but it's
We all got stuff we got to work on still. Trust me. All of us do.
No. But I want to be honest.
We're not no Arnold Schwarzenegger over here.
My man. But I'm going to be honest. So that is what I do. I do use that time to go ahead and hit the gym. Not everybody got that.
No,
man.
not everybody does.
Because they got to go to work,
Yep.
and their work doesn't have a gym.
No,
They don't have free time when they could do it.
no.
So seriously, they're waking up. They're going to work. They don't have. It's not like they wake up and first thing they can do is go to work.
Right.
Maybe sometimes the first thing they do is get their kids ready, go to school, go to work. And guess what? Next time they have free time, they're picking up their kids,
Picking up kids. Yep.
and going home.
Exactly.
So I get the struggle. And if you're doing it by yourself, it's a total struggle.
Yep.
But
For sure,
if
for
you
sure.
really want to do like workouts, I mean, and the thing about making time, it's doing it at home.
Yep.
You're trying to pick something up. It might be between
Get a few dumbbells at work, at home. Just
right.
Yeah.
It might be between you pick them up from school and before you pick, do the dinner, or you might be like, you know what, I'm making dinner and then I get that time, put them to bed and do it. If you
Right.
want to make our workout time, you got to make time.
You have to make time.
You got to figure out
You
when
have
it
to.
is, and you do really have to do it to make you feel good,
Yep.
because it does make you feel good.
Yep.
Because
It
you do,
does.
especially look, dude, I'm 45 years old,
Going on her fifth kid.
going on my fourth kid, and I'm not gonna lie, when I'm like, okay, at
Yep.
this age, I have to really start thinking about how long. I mean, when I pass away, okay, my kids. Look, I'm 45. If they live to 40, that means I'm 85.
Kid's gonna graduate.
That means
high
I
school,
got to
like
be
80.
in some kind
I'm
of
telling
shape,
you, have to,
right?
bro. You have to.
So
Have we done the math?
I haven't done the math yet,
So-
bro.
You're 45. When are you turning 46?
and March.
March. So
Is
your
I'll be
baby will
46,
obviously be
yeah.
born after March.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes,
you'll
I'll
be 46, 18. You
You'll be
will
80 by the
be,
time this high
I
school
will
kids
be
graduate from
you'll
high
be a
school.
64-year-old.
Yeah. So when I'm
Damn.
going to their graduation, everybody will refer to me as Grandpa. Is that your grandpa? No, that's my dad.
And how does that make you feel?
It sucks. So I obviously have a
But
20-year-old.
does it really? Or,
Matt's gonna have, like,
is it
3
something to
kids
be
by that
proud of
time.
because you've seen a high school graduation at
So that's a rough question. I'm going to be honest, because I do think about that a lot. Because seriously, I had a kid when I was 25 years old, right? So, and I rolled with that forever, and I thought that was literally going to be it, right? And then my next child, I think I was 41. I forget. Don't ask me. I've been drinking. So 41.
Have a drink
By
to
the way,
that.
this is some amazing whiskey right here. Some of this Garage Oil, American Badass
no
whiskey.
joke. It's actually really good.
Literally finished the bottle. It's amazing.
So we did.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you, Ron Stone.
Ron
Ron
Stone,
Stone.
man. But no joke. So then I started all over, and I started trying to think of like, look, at this point, my son, my eldest, has been with me for 16 plus years, and me as trying to instill that wisdom in them, been 16 plus years, right? So it's like, look, okay, so now he is 20. By the time my next one's born, that's 21 years
Crazy.
that the other one will never have. 21
Yeah.
years. That's just reality.
That's just-
and I'm
that's
not
just-
trying to be, whatever.
So you have thought about this.
No, always.
Clearly.
Always. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like
dude.
21 years that the other
Yeah.
one will never get with me.
Man.
Hence the reason why I'm not going to lie. I really have tried to been, very open and honest with my 21-year-old because, so if I get hit by a bus,
Yeah.
I hope my 21-year-old can instill some of those
Life's too short.
wisdoms that that I have, the journeys I've went through with my little one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
I didn't want to have kids this. I wanted a big family, but when I was 25 years old,
Right.
not when I'm 40
Right.
something.
Yep.
So yes, so when we're talking about hitting the gym, it's a real thing for
yeah.
me.
You have to.
I have to.
You have to.
If I want to be there for
Yep.
when my kids graduating and not on a walker, I don't want to be grandpa,
no.
man. I want to be hitting
I'll
the
make
gym.
sure, dude. I'll make
So
sure
you
you're not
got to
gonna be
make
grandpa.
time.
Don't worry, brother.
And it doesn't matter. Like, yes, I lucked out and I do have a gym at my job. But for folks who don't,
There's still
don't work out.
You know, there's 24 hours a day. If
Yes.
you do amazing time management on that, at least there's 30 minutes through the day.
Squeeze it
You
in
could
sometime,
find
dude.
somewhere,
Squeeze it in.
run around the block, do some push-ups,
Yes.
sit-ups,
And all
get
the
some
times
weights.
that you're not at the gym, be present
Yep.
enough, involved
Always.
enough
Always.
that
Always.
you can justify that time being away.
Exactly.
If you can squeeze away from the gym, but again, some folks won't be able to squeeze away
Right.
from the gym. So run around your block, do some push-ups, do whatever you
Yep.
need to do. There's
There
a lot of
has to be
things you
there's
can do
a
at
lot
home.
of home workout
Make
things,
it happen.
Make it a prison workout, COVID workout, just like, I'm
I like
serious.
that
That's
prison workout.
exactly prison
Amen,
workout.
brother. All right.
We
Thank
have-
you for your question.
Thank
Yeah,
you for the question.
seriously.
Amazing. We have another question from Michael from San Diego, California. This one was a little, when I read this one, I was like, okay. Michael from San Diego, California asks, how do you deal with the pressures of society and making sure your baby boy or girl has a good head on their shoulders?
Okay.
This one was actually a good one. How do you deal with the pressures of society and making sure your baby boy or girl has a good head on their shoulders?
I think you could lead with this
Okay.
one. I
Look,
mean,
okay. So, because I do have a 20-year-old. Screw society.
Yep. Exactly.
That's the biggest thing.
It's your
And
kid.
It is your kid. And the thing about it is, if you're going to do things, be the example.
Exactly.
Don't be a hypocrite. Don't tell your kid one thing and then you act another way.
Yep.
So look, I'm not a perfect person.
There's no one is. We're not perfect fathers.
Right.
We're not perfect husbands. We're trying
Right.
to be, though.
I'm not a perfect person.
Every single day.
So, but when I had my kid, before I had my kid, I was an awful person.
we're
You know,
just young people.
I was a
we're
young
learning.
person. I'm
Young, dumb, and full of cum. That's how we do it. Yes, that's how it is.
so I did a lot of that, right? Yeah, no joke. But when I had my kid, seriously, a week before my kid, I said, I'm going to change my life and I'm going to live a certain way. So when I asked my kid to do something, I was doing that. So when you say like, hey man, don't cuss, I don't cuss. I don't know if you guys ever really realize that or
Dude,
not.
I've noticed that. And I feel bad sometimes because I know some like,
No.
I was just like, oh shit. Oh, my
No.
Forgive me, because that's like my second language.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
bilingual, English and cussing.
I'm a veteran. That's all we did.
Right. And that's the thing. And look,
Yeah.
you could cuss all you want. And this is how I told my son, look, you're going to hear it. I didn't shelter them. You're going to go out there. You can't shelter your kids. Let
No, you
them go
can't.
out there
You
and
can't.
do their thing.
Yep.
But you be that example. I said,
Exactly.
look, don't cuss. Why? Because we're different.
Yep.
I'm not going to ask you not to cuss and you hear me cuss at home.
Yeah.
That's just me. And again, I'm not going to knock you. You do you. And it's just, if I'm going to tell my son to do something,
Right.
that's what I'm going to do. And that started with cussing. That started with everything else.
You knew you were about to have this huge change in your life.
Yes.
And you knew you had to change some things to become a better father.
Yes.
Yep.
It was all about being a person that can say, hey, son, don't do that while you're at school. I can't tell them, don't do that, and I do that at
Yep.
home. Be that example. So
Exactly.
I've always worked doing that stuff. So when you say, what about society? What about things? I could tell them, look, son, you're going to see a lot of things in life,
Yep.
but we're different here.
Exactly.
Be that different
Exactly.
person.
Yep.
Because if you are doing everything else, you're probably doing the wrong thing.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that's just what it is. So be different. So, and again, and my son is now almost 21. Do I think he doesn't cuss? I know he does. So, but again, I didn't want to be a hypocrite when I told him not to cuss. And again, I have a 4-year-old, 2-year-old, so we're repeating this. And
They're not cussing right now.
No, they're not cussing. And then we're gonna have a newborn. So again, we're gonna continue to do this whole thing again. But you know, if you're gonna tell your kid, don't, you know, what about society? What about all these things? Start it at home. By being an example. Don't be that yapper and say, hey, don't do this and don't do that. But that's what they see every day. No. Be an example. Be that person that lives that way.
Exactly.
So they could say, okay.
So the reason for leading with you, I mean, you have a child old enough to.
I have a ton of children, but yeah, go on.
But your oldest is old enough to, you know, interact with society and, you know, see how to handle those situations. And we have kids that are, you know, 3 and 2 that they don't really have that exposure just yet.
Yeah.
But like you said, I mean, it all starts at home.
Yes,
You lead by example. For example, my daughter is just, she, like all kids, they zoom into everything that you do.
Exactly.
They want to do everything.
They want to
you
copy
do.
everything.
Sponges, man.
Everything. And you don't realize that until they start copying you. And you're like, oh my
Exactly.
goodness. Yeah.
I mean, and, you know, in an ideal world, they're copying all the good, right? So, like, my wife or I will sneeze, and my daughter, she can be in another room, in her playroom, anywhere, and she'll yell to where you can hear her, bless you, mommy, bless you, daddy.
Yep.
And then of course, we say thank you, and she continues, you're welcome. And it's just, she sees that.
Yep.
She knows this is how we interact with each other.
Right.
I can tell you with certainty, I get told I love you the most every day by my daughter.
Isn't that an amazing feeling when she says that, dude?
Yeah,
when my daughter tells me that, literally, I mean, I'm a grown ass man, strong, but my heart, man, when she says that, dude, I melt, bro. I melt inside.
Crier.
I'm telling you, bro. I melt inside, dude. Right when she said, I was like, oh, baby, I love you too. I love you. Give me a hug. Give me daddy a hug.
But you have to give yourself some credit, because you think back, you know, a year or so ago when they weren't speaking, they didn't know the word.
They didn't know exactly.
No. So where did they pick that up? They hear mom saying that to dad. They hear dad saying that to mom.
Exactly.
Yes.
And they know that it's of some significance that they say it all the time.
Yep.
So if mom wants to say that to dad, or dad wants to say that to mom, well, I do too.
Yep.
Right. So the realistic thought that my daughter knows what love is at 3, it's very slim. Right. But she knows that she hears mom and dad say it confidently and willingly enough every day that she wants to be in on that.
Exactly.
So like you said, you lead by example. You show them what they should do.
Yep.
Right. And no one is perfect.
No one is. No one is at all.
My goal is never to be perfect.
No.
My goal is to be the best I can be.
Yep.
Right.
And from, you know, 3 years old, getting told by my daughter, good night, I love you, I missed you today.
Right.
Like, I don't think my daughter knows what it means when she says I miss you, but when I walk in, she says I miss you.
Right.
Because her mom says she misses me if I'm gone.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's just doing the right things yourself. Like you said, being the best person you can be, and hope they pick that up.
And I feel like when I was in high school, there was no social media. There was no iPhones. It was, I remember walking around. I remember exactly. Oh, thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
My man.
I remember walking around high school, huge brick phone. You know, huge antenna. You pop out, walk around high school,
Did
thinking
they
I
have
was
that
all
back in his
yeah,
day?
exactly. Yeah, you had the one that they actually connected, huh? Huge ass battery in your head. Yeah, exactly.
You were a telephone guy.
And you know, nowadays though, like I think that's the biggest worry I get. Not so much, you know, my daughter's going to be protected, provided for, but when she gets to that age, when she wants an iPhone, when she wants that social media, you pop on Instagram as a 40-year-old man, you're like, what the hell is this?
Right.
What the heck is this? You know what I mean? And you're just like, oh, wait a minute. I'm 40 years old. There's kids that are 10, 11, or 12 years old
Okay.
They
looking at
think
this.
this is reality.
They
Okay.
think this is real in reality. And you're going, oh, crap. This is not real. This is reality.
Okay.
You know,
But it is so to them.
to them.
So now you're talking something totally different. You're talking about, okay, you being, how you are in life, and then now you're talking about social media.
Right.
Okay. So my 20-year-old didn't grow up really, to be honest, with social media. It's really changed in that short
Huge.
period of time.
Leading by example. His dad
Yep.
just created one a week ago.
He
Well, I
did.
think he's at that age now where he's like,
No.
all right, I know how to pick better choices and decisions.
And the thing about it, though, so seriously, like, obviously social media has been around a little bit, but, he still wasn't really big into social media. I wasn't on social media. I mean, I am now per se, but there is, what do I post?
Haven't
Barely
seen the
anything.
first one.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing about it, though, and that's the problem, that is going to be a struggle for anybody now going
Yeah.
forward when you talk about social media, because it's that instant like.
Right.
It's that,
That gratification. Exactly.
and
exactly.
that is going to
Yep.
be a struggle for anybody going forward. Yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I'm an old dude, so my 20-year-old didn't have to do that. So now with my 4 and 2-year-old, we will have to struggle trying to figure out what we're going to do with that. And again, I'm going to leave by an example of, what I do.
Right.
But at this point, I'm old, right? They're going to look at me and, oh, man, you don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. This is now time, right? This is
Yep.
what we do now.
And there's a certain circumstances for that. I mean, we're doing a podcast. We're putting our name out there. We're trying to get viewership. There are certain circumstances and situations for that. But when you have a kid, 3, 4, 5 years old and up, it's your kid. You know what I mean? No one should tell you how to raise your kid in a way that you don't want to have your kid raised.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, it's all about example.
Right.
And no one's perfect. And I think the biggest thing in no relationship's perfect. Me and my wife had a few fights one time. You
don't say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're very both strong-headed persons.
They're
We want to
fighting
be
about
right.
making it to places on time.
No, we do. I'm always
No,
out on her.
come on.
All
That
the
dude's
time. I'm like,
always
why are we
late.
late? Oh, because she'll debate otherwise. I'll tell you that. She's a good debater, which is right. That's it. And that's what makes a relationship fun. But there's a few times where we actually argued in front of Sarah. Not a lot. It was a few times.
Yeah.
And what stopped that immediately was what she said. And she said, Mom and Dad, stop.
Right.
And literally right when she stopped, and it doesn't happen all the time. It was like literally once or twice when we did that. And we don't fight all the time. Like you said, we find ways to figure out our situations and resolve them.
Yeah.
But those few times we looked at each other and literally both made eye contact and go, crap.
Right.
Because we realized now we have someone else
Right.
watching us
Right.
and leading that by
Right.
example. Immediately we changed our dynamic, gave each other a hug, gave each other a kiss.
Right.
She ran up to us saying, I want some of that love.
Right.
We held her. All of us are kissing and hugging each other and telling us
Right.
each other, I love her. She's all happy and
Right.
kind of, but we went to bed that night going, oh crap.
Right.
She's at that age now
Right.
where she's picking up on every little thing. And it's crazy because you don't realize how much sponges they are.
Oh, no. There's
You don't realize that. They see every little thing. And now you're just walking on
Right.
every day. You're like, okay,
Right.
all right.
Right.
Let me
I
watch
can
everything.
no longer do that. At this
Exactly.
point. What was that person's name? Let's give a thanks to
Yeah.
him.
Michael from San Diego.
So, Michael from San Diego, thank you for asking
We
that
got
question.
to your answer eventually.
Yeah.
we were doing some soul searching along the way.
It was a
Yeah.
good
So
question.
we appreciate
It was a
your
really
question.
deep, hard question. You're like,
It was
okay.
very deep.
It was very deep, but it was a good question. So
Yeah.
thank you guys.
for taking your time. to
And
do that.
thank you guys for these 2 questions. We have tons
I
more
can no
questions that we're going to
longer
get to
do
in the
that
next
at this
episode.
point.
You guys
What
have
was that
made
person's name?
Just Us Men grow. I mean, every time I pop in, there's a new subscriber, there's a new view. I'm impressed.
That-
We got
that's
to
like
your
winning
answer
at the casino.
eventually.
That's an awesome
Yeah.
feeling.
It is. I mean, just even that, just getting that one subscriber, I was just like, that's just one
So we
guy
appreciate your
watching us,
question.
seeing how we're doing things, getting some knowledge, getting some wisdom.
So thank you
And
for taking your time to do that.
This is just impressive. It's amazing. I'm thankful Thank you for all your subscribers. Thank you for all your views. We couldn't do Just Us Men without you guys. Thank you so much. We're back here next week with some great other questions, great other topics. If you guys have some questions, email us at questions at justusmen.net. Thank you again. And remember, men, be unstoppable because we need each other. We got to help each other be stronger physically, mentally every single day. Be a better dad, be a better husband, be a better you every single day. So be unstoppable. Thank you for joining in.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys.